Then, honourable members, if you allow me at this juncture, please let me give other directions. Is it okay with you? Yes, thank you, honourable members. Honourable members, as initially directed and before I call upon the mover to reply to the debate, standing under number 693, provides that when the Speaker is satisfied that the motion has been adequately debated, the Speaker shall call upon the person who is being removed from office to answer issues raised in the debate, and thereafter call upon the mover of the motion to reply. At this juncture, if the governor is still not present, and I can't see her, then unfortunately, the governor will cancel, for the governor is not present before the House, and I therefore call upon the mover of the motion, Honorable Dennis Kiogora, DMK, to reply. Honorable DMK Kiogora, please take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to use the debate table to...
Please do, please do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, I want to thank the honorable members of this House for ventilating on this motion and for the great support that the honorable members of this House have given this motion. And Mr. Speaker, I want to thank all the members for the patience that they have exhibited, despite the fact that the first motion that was introduced to the House was quashed by the court, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, the letter that even was read by the Honorable Speaker in this House from the governor's lawyers, that letter is null and void ab initio, because the orders that were issued on 30th November were specific to the motion of 30th November, not to this motion that we have here today. This is a different motion. The one that was quashed disappeared. So, Mr. Speaker, there is no way it could be the motion that the letter the lawyer is purporting to have been addressing. And there is no letter from any lawyer that can give a governor or the president immunity against impeachment by this House or Parliament. There is no letter that can overrule the Constitution of Kenya, particularly the provisions of Article 181 that provide for the procedures of the impeachment of the governor and the requirement for the impeachment of the governor. There are no protections that can be given by any letter written by anybody or by any directions that the lawyer is purporting to have come from the court. There is no court that can give an order that an order of a court cannot supersede, Mr. Speaker, the provisions of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the members of this Honorable House have every legal backing to debate this motion, Mr. Speaker, and to vote on it. And if I can jog the members of this House memories, 10 years ago, Mr. Speaker, the then Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, one Dr. Nancy Balaza, who has taught me some law in Parklands, Mr. Speaker, resigned from office because she had a small altercation with a watchman at a shopping mall in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, and a quote came from that altercation whereby the Deputy Chief Justice, Mr. Speaker, told the lady, "You should know people." And just because of that simple act of saying you should know people, she was removed from office. Mr. Speaker, we have demonstrated in this House through this motion various misdoings and various misdoings that the governor has committed by breaking the law, the Constitution, national laws, county laws, Mr. Speaker, which supersede the little act that, if you compare the acts of our governor and the acts of the Deputy Chief Justice Nancy Baraza, Mr. Speaker, what the Deputy Chief Justice did was child's play. It is a small thing, Mr. Speaker. Yet, she was removed from office by the established mechanisms of the Constitution. A tribunal was formed. She took the report of the tribunal to the Supreme Court, to her colleagues, to review it, and they were unable to help her. She had to go. Mr. Speaker, in 1989, some of us in this assembly were not born. There was a vice president of this country known as Dr. Josephat Karanja. He resigned from office, Mr. Speaker, because Parliament was about to pass a vote of no confidence on him, because he had required the then Embakasi Member of Parliament, one David Mwenje, to kneel before him to make his request, Mr. Speaker. If the Vice President of Kenya many years ago could be removed from office because of requiring an MP to kneel before him, how about a governor who requires an MCA to apologize for reasons unknown, Mr. Speaker? How unaccountable can someone be if we let her go with all these misdeeds that she has committed, Mr. Speaker? Why should we look the other side, Mr. Speaker? When she is doing them, and the following day she does them, when is she going to stop, Mr. Speaker, if this House does not hold her to account? Therefore, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, to address the lawlessness that has been exhibited by the KAWIRA MWANGAZA government, Mr. Speaker, I beg this House to vote yes to the impeachment motion, and KAWIRA must go. To redress the nurses who have been denied a chance for promotion because she has appealed the decision to award them promotions, Mr. Speaker, KAWIRA must go. To stop the illegal roadside appointments in Meru County, Mr. Speaker, that we have seen in this motion, KAWIRA must go. To stop the vilification of leaders in Meru County, Mr. Speaker, KAWIRA must go. To bring unity that the governor is talking about, Mr. Speaker, there cannot be unity with KAWIRA, Mr. Speaker. To bring unity, KAWIRA must go first. To restore Meru County, Mr. Speaker, to its former glory, Mr. Speaker, where Meru County is respected, Mr. Speaker, KAWIRA needs to go. To redress the honorable members of this House, Mr. Speaker, who have been abused, Mr. Speaker, who have been called cartels, Mr. Speaker, who have been called thieves, Mr. Speaker, who have been told that they are looking for something to eat, Mr. Speaker, when they call for accountability, Mr. Speaker, who have been called foxes, Mr. Speaker, by our able governor, Mr. Speaker. To redress them, Mr. Speaker, and to heal their pain, Mr. Speaker, KAWIRA must go. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude my remarks before this House, Mr. Speaker, and moving the motion on impeachment, I urge this honorable House, by looking at even the contributions of members of public from the public participation forums that were held yesterday, Mr. Speaker, the foregoing evidence that has been attached to this motion, Mr. Speaker, to vote yes, Mr. Speaker, to the impeachment of Meru Governor, one Honorable Bishop KAWIRA MWANGAZA. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable DMK. And this juncture, the mover having replied on the contribution that has been made on the floor there.